Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining me. I am the Bearded Buddha, and welcome to Buddha Nature. In our last video, we set up our trays to begin some broccoli microgreens. We put the dirt on into the trays, we leveled it off, then we put on some seeds, not too thick, just enough to coat, give a nice even layer. And then we watered the seeds in, not too wet, but not too dry. And then we put the lids on and set them up on the shelf. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is, from what I've experienced in the videos I've seen and the tutorials that I've seen as well, they say it's best to water them once in the morning, once in the evening. And so that's what I did. I watered them that morning when I put them up on the shelf. And that evening I checked to make sure everything was still moist and damp enough. And I felt that it was. And so I left them on the shelf until this morning. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the top, take a look at how the seeds are germinating, and check and see if they need any watering. And then we'll put them back and leave them to the evening. So let's go. So here we are with one of our trays. As you see, I have put some weight on it. I mentioned that yesterday, that some people say it's best to do that. And I just improvised and put 3 bags of seeds on top of these trays to give it some weight. And the weight itself, as I mentioned, is basically so when the seeds start to grow, they're going to push against that lid and the weight's going to hold it down. And in the pushing, it's going to scrape off any seed holes or seed casings and get that out of the way so the seeds can actually grow and flourish. And we don't have seed holes in our microgreens when we try to eat them. I don't know about you, but I don't want super crunchy plants. So let's get this opened up and take a look at how things are going. I can't wait to start these other seeds here. I got some speckled peas. I got spring salad mix. And that was a package of mung beans. I've also got sunflowers, and that's going to be amazing. So here we are. Let's take the top tray off. Now, one thing to be careful of is the seeds will stick. As you can see, there are some seeds stuck to this lid. So we'll very gently, very carefully set it down over here so we don't knock any of those seeds loose, because we want to have all the seeds we can. And I'll bring this up to the camera. Maybe we can get a better look at it. So far, not a whole lot happening. The seeds are getting ready to germinate, if not already starting to break that little root out and press it into the dirt to help it grow and get nourishment that way. But as you can see, all the seeds are pretty evenly layered out. Not too many big groupings of them. You don't want to have it too overpopulated, or else everything will get choked out. It can cause a lot of problems in the way of molds and so on as well. But I think it's looking pretty good so far. What we'll do is we'll give it a little poke test here in the corner. Along the sides too, apparently. And it feels a little bit damp, but I think it could use a bit more water. So, get my trusty little sprayer here. Build up some pressure. And as I mentioned in the video before, you don't want to go right up against the seeds and blast them with the water, because obviously that will shake them loose. So what we're going to do is we're going to stay up a bit high off the dirt and just spray away. When you're watering, you don't want to water them so much that water drips out the bottom, because that would be a bit overwatered. It would drown out the seeds, and obviously they wouldn't grow very well. But just enough to soak them. You can go a little bit generous with the water at this stage, just because the dirt itself, while it's still moist, has the ability to absorb a lot of water. And you want to make sure there's enough there for the seeds to really get a footing in this dirt and grows. So I think that's good enough. So we'll clip this back over here. And that's really all there is to it. So we'll gently take our second tray with those other seeds on there, and we'll flip it over back the way it was. Set it down on top. Give it a little bit of a press to make sure the seeds have great contact with that soil. And we'll put our bags back on for the weight. And we'll set it up on the shelf. And so I'm going to go through and speed process the other 3 trays. And then if anything interesting happens, I'll let you know. And if not, we'll see you after the whole process is done. So stay tuned. And there we go. All 4 trays have been watered. They all look really good so far. There's a little bit of sprouts here and there, which is fantastic news. But we leave them now for the day. We'll check them at night to see how they go. And if they need any watering, I'll do that. And we'll get on to the next day. This is so exciting. And so there we go. All 4 trays have been watered. And I put them back up on the shelf. And they're ready to go for the day to have that water nourish them and help them grow big and strong in the days to come. This is an exciting adventure, and I'm so glad I started it. This is something I've been wanting to do for a little while, and I finally got the chance to do it, and I am so pleased. I am not looking back. And I'm so glad and so grateful for this opportunity, and I'm so glad and grateful for you to be here joining me with this adventure. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like down below there, and maybe even a comment. And if you're new and you just saw this video, feel free to follow along and check out the one before so you can see where we started. And this is going to be exciting, and I hope you'll stick around. Until next time, peace out.